No wonder Meghan ignored the late Queen's warning and used her royal title again. Nobody realized she has set 3 deadly traps for Harry, and the last one could completely break him. Recently, people noticed that Meghan used the title HRH, the Duchess of Sussex, when sending gifts, which immediately caused an uproar online. You know, back in 2020, when she tore up her relationship with the royal family and left with Harry, Queen Elizabeth had warned her not to use the HRH title anymore. But now that the Queen has passed away, Meghan seems to have completely tossed that warning aside. The most ironic part is that she's crying in interviews, talking about how much pain the royal family brought to her and Harry, yet at the same time, she's shamelessly enjoying the vanity that comes with her royal title. Naturally, this made many people question, what exactly does Meghan want? In fact, hardly anyone realizes that over the years, Meghan has already set 3 deadly traps for Harry, and once he realizes the truth, it might be too much for him to handle. First, don't forget what Harry has been busy with recently. He's been trying to reach out to King Charles, hoping to restore security protection for himself, Meghan, and their children in the UK. Charles was already ignoring him, and now Meghan publicly mocks the royal family, which is like directly provoking Charles's anger. At this rate, it's basically impossible for Harry to reconcile with his father, meaning his way back to the royal family has been completely cut off. Second, since leaving the royal family, Harry has been tightly controlled by Meghan. At the recent Time magazine summit, people noticed that when Harry tried to hold her hand, she pushed him aside to hug someone else in front of her. And do you still remember that Time magazine cover? Harry was leaning behind Meghan. Honestly, it didn't look like a husband and wife, but more like a mother and son. Over the past few years, Meghan's public control over Harry has been countless. And now, by cutting off Harry's path back to the royal family, even if he wanted to escape, he probably couldn't anymore. Third, and perhaps the most devastating, is that Meghan seems to have treated Harry as a spare or a stepping stone. Why did Harry originally break with the royal family? Because he felt like he was just a spare to his brother William, and it made him uncomfortable. But it's clear he hasn't escaped his fate. Every time Meghan wants attention, Harry shows up in public, performing, proclaiming his love for Meghan and showing off their relationship. But when it's time to actually reap the rewards, like at the Time magazine summit, even though both Harry and Meghan won the award, only Meghan went up on stage. Where was Harry? He was sitting in the audience. It's pretty obvious to anyone paying attention, but trapped in this situation, Harry himself might not realize it yet. And if one day he finally wakes up, even if he regrets it and wants to return to the royal family, would Charles and William still accept him? So, what's your opinion? Do you think Charles and William should just openly strip Meghan of her title?